drinks and shit. Just say it's the last time you're gonna see somebody you love or the gig.
Perform in their honor.
He's a dick. He's looking at me.
I don't know because
true professional.
It's like one of those things where
true professional, right? Yeah. Really good.
It's one of those things where it's like you don't know the situation until you're actually in it.
I agree.
It's like I don't exactly know what I would do.
Okay, what if it was like, your baby was about to be born or something? Like you would miss the birth of your baby.
Yeah, she ordered it better. Your first son's about to be born, nigga.
Your first son.
Or that gig.
That gig's gonna give me a multi-million-dollar like brand dealership with Nike, like $1 billion for 20 years, just wearing their sneakers.
All right, but hold up. You got the click remote now. And because you didn't show up at your kid's fucking thing, right?
Right, you got an elf with you.
Elf brought you to the future and showed you, yo, listen, since you weren't at the fucking, look how your son's going to turn out.
Right.
Turned out to a mass murderer, son of Sam. Because you didn't show up to the fuck.
See, again, this is all what if.
Yo, I love this. That's even better. I want an elf one. With like giant ears,
With giant ears? Like any particular animal?
Maybe like you can do like an elf. I don't know, because you could do the eyes, and just.
Yeah, I haven't. As you can see, my eyes are all the same.
I love it. Yeah, no, just keep that. I like it.
My eyes are all the same.
I like
That's as far as I got with eyes.
This one's a bit different. You got eyelashes over here.
Yeah, that's just plain. Just doing like a quick cutout, just trace it over. Like, okay, let me just add a little, make it more girly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wear a flower crown. I'm like, it's so, like, if I were a pig, this is what I would look like.
Yep.
I guess I have more leaves today.
Yeah. And that wouldn't even take long to do the leaf, like the branches.
Oh my goodness, yeah, with the ears, just like ears. But the ears would be more on the side of the head.
Yes.
Like a human kind of thing.
Or even behind the ears.
If I didn't hear audio, it looks crazy. You touching the pig like that.
Nasty motherfucker. So we're live now.
You can introduce.
Okay.
All right. So what's up, everybody? This is your boy Richard Bencaso here with the boy G.
Yo, what up, guys? How you doing? Hi. Hey.
Hi. You went hey hi like okay.
Yo, I'm coming up off a long night. 5 a.m. coming home.
Literally coming on a long night.
Tire on the curb. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
We have a guest here though, so you gotta be a little.
Let's go, Richard. Introduce our beautiful guest.
Yes, so I've known this lovely elf for roughly over a year now, right?
This lovely elf. I love how you said that. Let's go, baby.
Yes, I think over a little over a year now.
Yes, we met through the whole New York Connections type thing when he was doing like a year ago.
I think that is how I met you.
Yep, yeah. I first officially, I've seen you through his page, and then we officially met in Washington Square Park. When Coach Dills was performing with you and Anya, that's her name? Mm-hmm. That's when I officially introduced you.
Yeah.
Are we going like that?
I was gonna. Go ahead. Say her name, baby.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the lovely Elf of NYC.
Hey! Hello. I am, the Elf of NYC, sitting here. Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I appreciate your time. It's a beautiful Sunday. It's officially May 1st. We're in the first day of May.
Officially May.
May Day.
Does it really mean shit if the fucking weather still sucks? Today's the first nice day that we got. It's been cold, though.
It's been so cold.
My house is cold, and then it's like...
No, I got my winter... blanket still.
I mean, I sleep. I'm a blanket person though.
Yeah.
Those are my blankets. I just use.
Yeah, you guys are. I'm a blanket person all year round.
I use a blanket all year, but I have a summer blanket that's lighter. I'll do sheets.
Sheets, yeah.
With a blanket versus the thick, huge comforter. I break it out for winter. I just have a really
even 90-degree weather. I still have a heavy blanket. It's weird because sometimes
some people are like that. You blast AC or something.
Yeah, my blast AC.
My man does that shit.
Y'all just use electricity.
Yeah. Well, no, they don't sleep comfortably in the wintertime. It'd be late into winter, like November, and they still got the AC on. They still put the AC on because
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know those people.
Yeah.
And for me, AC's literally right by my window, so it's like I'm already getting all the cold air right on top of me. So it's like I'm gonna be freezing, even if it's like 100 and some whatever degrees outside.
Right.
I'm like shaking in my bed, like okay,
Right.
let me just get a blanket, so that way, as soon as the moment I turn it off, then my room just gets like fucking feels like a sauna, like and these like like those signs where you see the smoke, and you just like, oh god, this feels great. But anyways, we're here for you.
What's up, Elf?
All of you.
Amazing. Yeah, little, beginning about blankets. But yes, here I am. Thank you so much. Yeah, for having me. Yeah.
All right, so usually we like try to do like a quick little introduction, where you came from, like how did you like become, or where were you born from? What forest did you come from, or did you come from space? Did you come from the sea? Where's the what's the mystique of Elf of NYC?
Yes, so I am a Neptunian elf. Yeah, so I arrived here actually at the beginning of quarantine. Is the elf was born in Times Square. And
born in Times Square.
Yeah, it was interesting because.
Well, I gotta know what I'm so intrigued. You walking in Times Square and you just decided to.
No, so I am from Neptune, and that is I would say the planet of the subconscious or the collective conscious and the imagination, and dreams. So I would say the dream realm is my original state. And I was pretty much summoned into New York in Times Square in the beginning of quarantine. It was the first time in history that Times Square was completely empty. It's one of the most populated places throughout time. It's empty. And, through a wormhole, I basically kind of crawled out and landed here, and I didn't really know what to expect. I saw one of the first people I saw was the Naked Cowboy. That was, and I heard about America. I've heard about America, and then there it was, wearing like little Trump shorts with a guitar and a mullet. I think he wears a mullet with this cowboy hat, and I was like, "This is America."
How naked was the Naked Cowboy?
He was like 95%.
Yeah, because I heard sometimes he could get too much sometimes.
He, luckily the things that needed to be in their place was in their place. But yeah, he had, these like booty shorts, these Trump booty shorts.
Trump booty shorts.
That was the first thing I saw when I landed. Yeah, one of the first things I saw when I landed in Times Square. And I was like, okay, this is what they prepared me for. They, we've all throughout the dimensions have heard about America. Most elves don't come to this point in time because it's basically like a spiritual desert, so we'll hang out in ancient times a little more. I was really sent to, this time in New York for what I'm still figuring it out. I'm still understanding and learning and connecting to everyone and, finding a spiritual connection. I think like since I've been here hanging out with humans, I found a lot more hope for humans at this time. It was like, oh wow, they were kind of, in terms of cosmically branded as like, spiritually inept. But I really believe that there is, so much and an awakening that's really happening too, that I think my calling was aligned with. Of people, getting in tune with what our chakras, what our energies, and Eastern thought has held on to that for, thousands of years, but just, really, taking it from the first image of the naked cowboy to, a sense of inner peace in the inner city, is what I'm after. So.
Do you get discouraged? Because if you look at us from a distance and it was like, I do think, I can't agree with you that people are spiritually disconnected.
Yeah.
And I say it all the time, it's not our fault. I think it's because of what's been placed in front of us and what we see, whether it be technology or whether it be the bad stuff, whether it be whatever you fill your mind up with. but looking up at the stars and looking inside one another has really disappeared over time.
Yes.
So do you get
Yes.
upset being here, like looking at
Mm.
people from a distance? Now you got to be here, or do you take it as it's cool? I'm gonna find my calling. I'm here to do something.
Right. That's such lovely wisdom you shared, and also a form of a question. Um, Honestly, I do get discouraged, and I have sometimes, it's a lot different from where I'm from, so there's like a learning curve as well of, understanding why people do certain things that are so destructive to themselves,
Mm-hmm.
because that's not in my nature. And then people typically self destruct out of a sense of fun almost, and then you start to open yourself up to these other pathways, so there is a level of being an elf and being in this type of realm, and also sticking with my true principles, and how, yeah, just, I don't know, it's a balance, if that makes sense. And I'm still figuring it out as well. This is all very new for me. Like, I'm pretty young for an elf. I'm, only about 3,000 years old, so this is all, and this is the first time really, yeah, being here. Um,
So what you've been doing for the other 2,099 years, right?
so time
Yeah.
is, yeah, time where I'm from just operates a bit differently in other dimensions, if this makes sense. So I'm typically not in just one place in time.
Okay.
And this, in the third dimension, for some reason my age just ages out to be, oh, this approximation of, over 3,000 years. But typically when I'm existing, yeah, I'm in different places, but it's not, it's not the third dimension. It's the space almost in between the lines. Like, that's where everyone else is in terms of spirits, in terms of even paranormal, God is in between the lines of everything you see, and that's even, pi is such an important number, because it, in terms of infinity, a pattern that never repeats and never ends, it's the number that unlocks a circle as well. You cannot have a circle without pi, no matter how big or small the circle. Something that is infinite is not found in a concrete 3 or 4, right? It's found in between the lines of even numbers. Pi is this magic number that, again, unlocks a circle, has unlocked architecture, has unlocked, so many advancements of civilizations. This is consciousness. So it's trying to have these types of conversations while also, appreciating and respecting the energy that does emanate from this place and time as well, because it is super powerful. And it's like, oh gosh, if I could just, connect with people about where I'm from, and they just wake up to something in themselves. Because inside yourself, there's an elf.
I mean,
That's a bar.
yeah, that is a bar. Do you Sorry, you almost lost me on there, because it's a lot to take in.
Right.
People believe what they want to believe within themselves, correct?
Yeah.
You choose to have a deeper understanding about yourself. Can I ask you, is this what you really look like then? If you aren't from here, or is this a form that you've taken up?
This is a form that I've taken where I'm from. Also, there is no body per se. So even like eating was totally new. Touching, like smelling air was like, oh,
What
I
ki-
didn't really know this
so
was what
what
an
it,
elf was gonna look like either.
so
Kind of.
what do you do then over there? You just float around?
We, yeah, I would say it's more of like a floating experience. Yeah.
So what's more fun? Here or there?
I would say there is more joyful. Definitely more joyful. I don't experience the type of suffering that I do here
I mean,
in a
you
certain way.
you said,
Like, there is pain there, but it's just different.
is
Like,
there
there's
balance
something
there then?
about being contained in a body, because over there I'm just one with the universe. So even when there is pain, there is joy, there's so many avenues, but when you're contained in a body, it's like you are just this one little universe, you know, that's existing, that's disconnected in a certain sense, because you are self-contained as a body, you know. And so it's, yeah, even just like, ow, I stubbed my toe, like that's so weird, that hurts so much for some reason, even compared to like these catastrophic things I've experienced as a spirit. It's just different, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but
I mean, how do you find it hard to maneuver in the sea of people then here?
sorry,
Do you find it hard to maneuver?
maneuver
Walk
around
around on your
people.
day-to-day basis?
I've gotten a lot better at it. I've gotten a lot better at,
It was
you know,
hard
right,
at first?
steering this thing. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, depth perception. I was like, oh, you know, that was interesting. Yeah. And so I've gotten pretty good at getting around. You know, I'm a quick learner. And especially in New York City, you know, growing up here as a young elf born in Times Square, it's hard. Like, you learn very fast because it's a lot at once. You know, there's no shields of protection, really. It's like, this is the best and worst of humanity right before you, you know, and even the worst of humanity are
Especially in
some
New
of these
York.
millionaires. You know what I mean? It's not even like, it's
No,
like,
it's right in front of you. It's not
yeah,
even.
it's all, everything is happening over there, you
Mhm.
know, and then it being empty too, I guess, gave me a little buffer, you know, because a lot of people were hibernating in their homes during the quarantine, and that actually, that gave a moment in time for this elf wormhole to emerge that I could come out of.
You you gain a level of confidence. You know, like
A
to be
portal
awakened.
could just actually be open in Times Square before. The infrared energy was just way too hot and suddenly went cold. And Times Square is like an energetic source throughout time. It is a portal.
So can other things come out of that portal besides elves? Do bad things come
There
out of that?
could,
Because
yeah.
sometimes Manhattan and Times Square lately be looking like Night of the Living
Somebody
Dead.
came out of a portal.
Right.
Night of the Living Dead,
Right.
Rich.
Yes, yes. You know, and the portal is actually not even run by elves.
Who's it run by?
This, I can't just say that.
Oh, God.
Unclassified, you know, the government could be, you know, there's, being an elf here is very complicated for many reasons.
I could being anything here is complicated. Unless
True.
even being a human here
Yes.
is complicated.
Yes,
You feel me? Like
of course.
You don't get a pass. Nothing gets a pass nowadays. You have to work hard for anything that you want, you know, and then, you know, we just spoke about it outside. Unfortunately, you have to play sides now. Now it's like you have to appease all sides. You have to appease the people over there. You got to appease the kids. You got to appease all.
Right.
Like, everybody needs to have some reciprocity from you, because we're either wanting to represent who we are, or we're looking for something more in our lives, such as being as entertainers, right? You know, getting paid for what we do or what we believe in, or having people walk with us on what we stand in, right?
Right.
You work for that, you earn that, but it's discouraging that if you don't believe in one little thing that they all believe in, they don't fuck with you. You know? And
Definitely.
at least you got thrown in Manhattan because you wouldn't be so good in a rural area. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, imagine being in an open
Right.
space area where there's no buildings, no city, less people, and you would have to just find your way.
Like you in a
Like
farm,
a
on long
hitchhiker or
road
something
Yeah,
like that, like
because
Louisiana, some crazy shit like
They're
that.
like, especially if you're not from that town, let alone from that planet.
So you a New York girl?
I mean, this is
As
Times
far as
Square.
you know, as far as you know.
As far as I know, in terms of my Earth experience, you know, I have traveled outside of the city a little bit. I actually just experienced Philadelphia the other day, and I got to see the crack of America.
Literally the crack of America.
And they have some famous penitentiary for some reason. They're like, oh, it's the world's first
Philly's
prison.
one of the most racist. Yeah, Philly's.
They actually have one of the first hospitals in the United States.
I don't give a shit. That I hate.
I just like learning weird facts.
No.
Let's throw
I
it
mean,
out
I
there.
hate the fact that they still have that. It's so bad over there. Like, Philly's bad. You know, like the neighborhood where the bad neighborhoods are bad. Let's just say that. You know, it sucks that we still have shit like that. Like, come on, give me a fucking break.
Well,
Philadelphia is supposed to be a city of love. No.
Yeah, I mean, you see the statue, the sign there, or wherever.
I know. I'm asking you.
What's the
It is.
statue? What's the sign?
It says like City of Brotherly Love.
City of Brotherly Love, yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, Will Smith, right? Yeah, there you go.
You know, West Philadelphia.
Yeah, born and
Oh,
raised.
right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Meek Mill, North Philly.
Well, he's not a good example. He's a drug dealer and fucking went to jail and
Yeah, you go
fucking
from
got
Will
Right,
Smith
bad
to Meek
example,
Mill,
bad
like,
example. Right,
what's
right,
the
right,
in
right,
between there?
No, Will Smith, right.
What? I actually have
Jada Pinkett Smith.
No, damn it. I knew it.
nah,
Damn it.
Nah.
I was trying to say the man's name without.
I-
What's
Okay.
the in between?
You know
I don't
what?
know.
I love Will Smith. That's it.
We all do.
We stand the guy who said sorry publicly and privately. And in
Listen,
many
sometimes
ways.
sometimes you gotta
If
get
he went and got
slapped.
help,
It's not always the right people that get slapped, but you gotta get slapped sometimes. And you're right, I agree with you there. You gotta get help, just like we talked about outside too. This nigga Brandon, this bitch's name on his fucking chest. You need some help.
right. Right, as
The
we were
bitch is talking
saying,
Pete
yeah,
Davidson, by
about
the way.
Pete Davidson
Like,
and
guy
Kim
context
K.
who you brand and always
Branding.
Nah, everybody know when
when
I say, yeah, but he branded his ass for his own like that's his own, and
multiple times.
Bam's not doing too good though. Have you seen Bam?
Really?
Bam don't look too good.
Because they just
He's
dropped the new
fat.
Jackass. Did you see
He's
it?
fat.
He's
Yeah,
not
he's
in
not in
He's
it.
not in it,
No.
exactly. So I was wondering, like,
Because
what?
he's been suffering from drugs and all that shit for a while. He has a poor drug addiction. Everybody knows it. You know, like he's bad.
Seriously, downward spiral. It's
But
crazy.
Pete, that I find that to be different. I find that to be like I said, it's just a call for help. It's a cry for help.
It's a cry for help, and it's also like.
Do you feel that the Kardashians are making him that way?
But he's,
Or it's-
I don't know, he's been so unstable. You know, he has a personality disorder, you know? So he's kind of, it's like feeding.
Fuel?
It's feeding.
To the flame?
It's feeding fuel to the flames.
What you
right?
think? What you think?
know, but then he's getting publicity too, right? Like he thinks, because the thing about them, it's all orchestrated at the Kardashian level to a certain point, right?
Oh yeah,
So
they're masses of
he
orchestrated
is
stuff.
just like being thrown into that, and he's getting more famous from it. You know what I mean? His career is booming. All of a sudden, he's starring in a show.
He was in a commercial.
XYZ.
Water.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
He was in a
he's
water
all over the
commercial.
place now, and but then I don't know, I think his mental illness is getting thrown into it. He's like, oh, you know, how do I hype up this attention? You know what I mean? It's exciting. And he's like, I'm going to brand her name on me. Because he has a trillion tattoos on top of each other.
Yeah, and they're
that
not
look
even, like, good.
really
They're all,
weird.
like-
Right. They all look so strange. It's like,
He just changed
put
that.
your shirt
Staten
back
Island.
on,
Strange.
dude.
That's a
Just
Staten
straight
Island.
from an elf, right? From me. I was like, that's strange.
That's a Staten
That
Island.
guy's strange.
You
She's
Staten
like-
Island, man. You
Pull it
Staten
up for
Island.
me.
Like,
motherfucker, man.
it's, yeah.
He's Staten Island?
He
Man.
is, yeah.
Even Staten Island. Like, you know, Staten Island, I don't know what the hell they do.
He's
out
a
there.
bit funny though, like when he has his shirt on.
I mean, I saw a few of his specials and like not like it was like like the best it was like hearing it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He has like a form of dry comedy.
He's on SNL. Yeah,
It's
it's.
dry comedy.
I like him. He's
Listen,
okay.
we all got issues. I'm not judging the dude. I'm just saying, don't brand no bitch's name on your chest. Don't start this trend. Don't follow the Pete Davidson.
Right.
Bro.
That was a great point you were making earlier. Before
I
we
just
were
hate
recording.
that, man. You know, like we could do dumb shit. Whatever dumb shit you do in the chat. When you're famous, you got a little bit of response. I know you can't fucking be out here and like Amber Hearns. We all know she shitted in this nigga's bed, right?
Oh my God.
What can you do about that now? Like, kids gonna know you the woman. Like, did she have kids? Thank God. Do they got kids?
No, they don't got kids.
Thank God. Because imagine they have kids and your kid gotta go to school and you the
mean,
mom
right.
that shitted in the bed. Oh, your mommy shits in the bed. You know what I mean? Every dad there don't want to fuck that mom. That mom don't. She's hurt now.
I mean, the world knows about her now, and they even had a psychiatrist come in and be like, yeah, she's narcissist. She has another personality disorder.
She's
you
like
know?
a psychopath, pretty much.
Like
Aren't we
and
all?
she has, the thing is though, she has past cases of domestic abuse from her doing it to other people.
Oh, this has happened before.
Yes!
This ain't new.
No! This is not even her first one.
So she has a paper trail being crazy.
She's got a paper trail. Johnny Depp was married for 20 years happily. That's his paper trail. You know, and even his ex-wife came forward and it's like, I even ran into a woman who was like, oh, believe all women, believe all women. It's like, no, believe all victims. I don't know. You have to, like, it's really not fair. And they even her Amber Heard's closing testimony, or no, her recording, they had the recording of her saying,
Yep.
she's like, oh, you think that you, Johnny Depp, could tell the public that you were abused and you think they'll believe you?
Right? Like, to say that to him, like, it just knows, like, oh, I'm gonna get. She think, oh,
She
I'm gonna
knows
get away
she's
with
using whatever is this, like, woman privilege in a certain sense, or like woman card, I guess, more than like, I don't
this
know.
shit. Woman entitlement.
Sometimes I think people don't even really recognize that they're doing things like that. They do that shit like involuntarily. Like she may honestly think it's okay. She
Yeah.
may be so unaware of what's going on because I don't watch it like that. But whenever I look at the testimony that was when it was live, she always got this really dull face on, just like she's not really in that courtroom right now.
Right.
Like if they tested her for drugs, I guarantee something comes up.
Right.
I guarantee she's on something in that fucking courtroom.
Right.
It's always like a blank.
Very stoic.
Undisturbed.
Very stoic,
Yeah.
undisturbed.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Like, no
the
tears.
nigga's talking about you just shitted in his
It's
bed.
weird.
And you sitting
no
there now.
shame,
You're
no,
hearing-
not even.
You're hearing
Should
your-
apologize right there.
You're hearing your own recordings, and you're like this, like you being fucked up to a man, trying to pretty much destroy his entire existence as not only a man but his career as well. And you're like this.
Nah, you can't destroy fucking Jack from Pirates of the Caribbean.
He
You
lost-
can't destroy Jack Sparrow.
You can't destroy Jack. Jack is the god, bro. Like, yo, Johnny Depp has given us some great movies, and sometimes I'm not saying it always works because you can't pull a R. Kelly out here and make great music, but fucking kidnap and fucking keep bitches hostage and shit. You know, you can't do shit like that. But you know, it comes to a level. I think when you get too famous, when you just won't think you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh,
yeah.
You just don't even.
Your ego gets
Yeah,
fed.
you just your ego detached. Fuck that. It comes to a point where you don't even see. It's just like I want to do it. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they. I just want to do it. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop? Nobody,
Yeah.
right?
And that comes back to this like imbalance spiritually. You know, like no elves want to be here around this mess.
So there's more elves like you.
Oh yeah, there's Neptunian elves, there's Mars elves, Venus elves.
Do they represent themselves as just like you?
Most of them don't come here. I'm trying to get them, trying to be like, hey guys, Earth is not so bad at this point in time, but
They don't get lonely.
elves will. Do I get lonely? Yeah.
I mean, for the time,
I love humans though, but I do miss my elves.
I will say this because you brought us on like a little earlier when you said you've been here for 3,000 years. You're 3,000 years old.
Yeah.
Does it ever feel like it's like how do you build relationships for so long? It's like you've been on the other, from your planet, like in Neptune, like for here, for 3,000 years. There's gonna be like so many relationships and so many people you're gonna be meeting. Like we're not gonna be here 3,000 years from now.
Right.
Like we're gonna be long, like on some Tuck Everlasting, great book by the way. Like we're gonna be long gone. So would it be kind of difficult? But it's like, do you get to know people and then you gotta start building a whole new relationship with somebody like 50, 60 years later after they pass or something? Like it would be hard for me to build a relationship with somebody knowing that I pretty much could live for thousands, if not almost 10,000, tens of thousands of years. Knowing that people that I like
the
love
Dracula
and
thing.
cherish.
Like
Yeah,
right.
Dracula
Like
effect.
vampires.
Dracula watches everybody die around him. That's why he never falls in love with nobody,
Yes.
because nobody can live as old as he can. You know,
Mhm.
like
So it's like, would it be like hard to like love, or would it be hard to like just even build a relationship with somebody, knowing
Yeah,
that you're
that's
gonna
such a
outlive
good
them?
question. Yes. So the thing about where I come from is relationships, and you guys, I think, feel it too here when you have an eternal connection to another being or another essence. So where I come from, time is just more complicated there because we're not in the third dimension construct. We're not stuck in space time continuum essentially. So the relationships I have there, like we're just on this like infinite connection. It's like it's always like what is the if it was comparable to here, on earth. What is that best moment you've ever connected with somebody? It's like, that's where we're at all the time. Because that one moment doesn't exist just in that one moment. It's like, it can be accessed pretty much any time in the spiritual realm, if this makes sense. So even sometimes I'll meet people here and I feel like I already know them, but it's because I do in a certain time or place. But it's like, here we have to get to know each other one day at a time. So that's also just a really complicated way for me to learn how to get to know people and have had, to understand people, because you could feel close to people, and then you reveal, oh, wow, this person is actually a lesson in my life. This is actually not like someone who is on my side.
Like for us, we build like certain barriers within our hearts and within our minds when it comes to people who we let in. Like nobody just openly is usually free to like, hey, I'm here to love and I want to love every single body that comes into my life. Like for us, well, I wouldn't say for everybody, but I would say more specifically for me. Like there's certain chambers that I'll allow you to go through as we just start to like develop, like and start to get closer. Because if I automatically just it's that fear of like, if I open up everything that I'm gonna get hurt.
Right.
And I'm a person personally that's never truly been hurt. Like I've never been in love my entire life. Like I really.
You never been in love?
Never been in love my entire life. I've always really liked like being around women, like having great times with women, like always.
Do you know what being in love is?
I don't.
I just had this fucking comment. I got somebody got mad at me last night.
What about what?
Because of that. She asked me, like, I got asked that, like, are you in love? And I'm like, no. And I don't mean to even hurt feelings. No. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like you walk into a fucking Starbucks and you just know. When you walk to the counter and the person grabbing their last cup and they turn around and they face you in the face, you just know.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about, that type of connection.
But that's for somebody to ask me, for you to have to be asked, and for us not to know what being in love is, like for me to be asked and me genuinely not, I can give you all the manuscript. You be there for them. You care for them. You love them every day. You dick them down every day. You always talk to them. You try to be their friend. You guys try to get the house and the credit score and then the kids. And then I could break down what being in love is on paper. Anytime you go through it, you just suck it up. You just keep going.
But is that your version of love?
But that's my point. Like I don't know what.
Right. So what is your version of love? Is it that love at first sight?
Me, love at first sex. Sometimes after sex, you can realize you love somebody.
No, but sometimes Sometimes you can look at people and you feel like you know them before. You feel me? Sometimes
the way there's a flow between you and somebody.
Yeah, sometimes like really I look at people and it's like almost like I've been waiting to meet them. For right or for wrong. Maybe they're a passerby. Maybe we're not supposed to get along.
Right.
Maybe we're supposed to learn something, like you said, a lesson. Right? But you just know. And that thought of me just knowing when I'm with somebody or around somebody, how far it can go. And yeah, damn right, I'll get surprised when it'll go further when I've been in a relationship longer with this person than I've expected, because it just one day you blink but it doesn't mean you're in love with them. It just means one day you blinked and the time went by and you didn't even check yourself on the situation. So it's like I said, you just know. For me, it's like it's just a knowing feeling. I feel like you can just walk through a door and you'll just know. And it's unspoken. You don't have to say, yo, I'm in love with you.
Or you can initially think it was love in the first place, and then it could be like those relationships where you together like 10, 15,
lust,
20 years.
Yeah, lustful.
And then you wake up like, wait, I don't love you. Like, I don't love you anymore. Even though you build a life with them.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though. I don't think there's anything, like I said, just because we're in love, it doesn't mean we gotta be in love forever. There's
or be together forever.
Or be together forever. Some people can be in love.
Love evolves too, There's like a hot moment in time, when like the passion is alive, and that's like where it exists. But then it simmers into something different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you
Mm-hmm.
cook a whole dish? You don't cook it on heat the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like, what meal are we prepping right now?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is really, you know, the taste of our life together? And some people, you know, you just want a quick meal, but it's
That's a
like,
bar right there.
really,
Sometimes you
What's
want
the
Burger
taste
King,
of our
but then
life
other times
together?
you want gourmet
What's the
Wagyu.
taste of
yeah,
our
like
life
what are we
together?
cooking together? What's are we, you know, in the kitchen, right? So really, it's, and there's different loves for different like
That's hard to understand
mindsets
too.
too. You
That's
know,
hard
like
to understand
sometimes
too,
I
though.
just want to fall in love for a night. And like
That's that.
you
See that?
maybe in another lifetime, like that was your partner. You know what I mean? Like things are so flying by, but that moment you spent together is eternal in a certain sense. Like that always exists because it did exist, if that makes sense.
And fall in love for a night.
Yeah.
Well,
And just like have a, you know,
she says it. You know what it is? I just had this conversation and last night, and I got discouraged off of somebody being able to tell me that, like that they, even if they weren't with me in a relationship, not like that, had nothing to do with it, but to tell me they were able to sleep with individuals, but they're not in a relationship with those individuals, and I asked why not be in a relationship with those individuals, but you can sleep with them. I can't. And I'm not gonna sit here and not be like I'm not Gil, like I'm not like I don't do the man thing. I'm not gonna sit here and be fucking all high and mighty. No, I do the man thing. But for me, my dumb ass put the person in such a space in my head that I would never consider the thought of them being able to have spiritual connections with other men. You know what I'm saying? And it even sounds funny when I'm saying it because I feel like you just wanted to fuck. She's like, no, but it's not, we trust each other. It wasn't like that. Yes, it was about the sex, but you know, afterwards I realized. And would you fuck him now? You know, and that's where my head goes. And she's like, well, the fact you can't answer that is you would. So that's that spiritual connection that I try to be naive to. That women mostly women on a larger scale share that spiritual connections with their partners rather than men. Men don't share spiritual connections with their partners so much. And if they do have multiple partners, they should, that nigga must paint his fingernails black or something. Because that's a lot to manage of spiritual connections with a whole bunch of spiritual women and shit like, I'm just spirit. That sounds like a Dave Koresh and shit. You're just trying to fuck them all. Like, you know, you can't use that. I feel like women genuinely connect with people differently. For guys, like especially, that's hard for me to understand. It's like, I know I have to let that go.
but do you feel like you have had a spiritual sexual experience in your life? Or are those two separate? Because if you haven't had, you're missing out, really. It takes takes orgasm to a new level. But I also don't, I just want to interject on the, you know, because the statement of like, you know, women, like I definitely have had, you know, meaningless sex. I've had, you know, great sex.
We're talking where you are now.
You know, but then what is like the spiritual sex, right? When you have that connection with somebody where it's like, I don't know, right? What is that flow between us? Is it going to last our whole lifetimes? I don't know. Wouldn't that be fun to imagine? But sometimes it's only for a few weeks, whatever. But if you just explore an intimacy, I think that's a better word for it, you know? And having an intimacy with someone, the sex it just takes it to a new level, you know. It really, you know, now you're traveling dimensions. You're like, you know, it's just you explore yourself in a new way. You understand your body in a new way. Tantric sex. Have you ever heard of tantra? Tantra? Excuse me, I might be pronouncing it wrong. Like this is like a spiritual sexual practice from ancient India. You know, and these are different methods that you can follow with your partner to release higher states of consciousness.
It's like what, under the Kama Sutra type level?
Kind of, yeah. And so these are just
tantric sex.
Tantric sex.
Tantric sex.
So
tantric sex is a whole new way of being in sexual connection that allows you to access the deeper levels of feeling, sensation, and energy.
So you know, get renewed as a person. It's almost, you know, a form of, finding meditation within sex, right? Just unlocking higher states of consciousness, vibration, frequency.
I like that.
Are you
phrasing.
Sex is
experiencing that?
powerful.
What, meditation within sex?
Are you experiencing a higher frequency?
Or like a release of something.
A spiritual connection along with a physical connection with your partner? Or would you rather... No?
No, I mean...
You're not there yet?
No,
you don't know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is,
like,
right?
Because it's like, what can... Like,
what can be more...
Yeah,
you
what
feel
is
like
more than
what is more... What's the next... We're already butt naked in here, right? What's more than this?
It's like...
I understand what she's saying, though, because...
Yeah, I understand, too.
As she's saying it, I've shared that. I've shared that multiple times on drugs, though. To a point where I used to hold out on having sex to the next time I was going to be on drugs. And
really?
I would never like, oh, yeah, it's Friday. I'm going to go get high. No. It's not like that. It'd be more like just fucking sitting there like, okay, high? All right. I wouldn't have sex for like 2-3 weeks, though. Even living with a woman. We'd have sex 2-3 weeks because when we got into each other, we really got deep into each other.
Right.
So I feel like why it's so much better if I just wait. Just fucking wait. You gotta jerk off in the shower a little bit, but you get by.
Because you're looking for that like spiritual incline. Like that's exactly what you were looking for, And some of these are techniques to prepare you for tantric sex, And so
putting that shit on a shirt. Tantric sex with me.
Yes.
They're gonna be like, what's that mean? Let me show you.
Light
a candle. Get it all like,
God.
Like, are you ready? You get that essence stick. Like,
I'm gonna turn into Dave Koresh.
Just don't lock yourself in with like 40 people inside.
Oh, what a fucking!
Oh my goodness.
That wasn't his fault though. That wasn't his fault. That was the government's fault. They fucked up. They lit that shit on fire and they did all that bullshit. They should have let those people be there without food, without water for a fucking couple weeks. They would have came out. Nobody's gonna sit there and starve to death. I don't give a fuck what you say. There ain't no mom in their right mind gonna be like, yeah, let's just follow him.
And wait. Then their stomach's growling like.
Stomach growling. You eat each other. That's you think they're gonna go that far? No, they would have gave in. He's not that fucking mental. He's just upset that nobody didn't leave him the fuck alone. He wanted to impregnate all these 15-year-olds. Leave him the fuck alone. You want to? Yo, he's sick, yo. Some people are sick, yo. That's why I said if I had a choice, Miss Elf, the way you speak about the place that you come from, sorry, the way you speak about the spirituality and how influenced you are by it, whether it be on talking of sexuality, intimacy, or just relationships with people as you maneuver. I'd rather stay there than be here if I had an option. Because here, I'm just like, I feel like I'm floating anyway half the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, like, like for me, life is a car. And I got a choice to make. I'm either going to be driving the bitch, or I'm going to be passenger and let it go wherever the fuck it goes. And sometimes, I just got to let it go where it goes. Because trying to control the car too much, I'm fucking banging into the wall. I catch flats. I'm like, yo, but when the car drives itself, like, that's like trusting myself. I don't trust myself very much. I'm always thinking about, if I do this, that happens. And it should never always be like that. Like, I treat my time precious. If I do this, that happens. If I do this, that happens. If I do this... When I trust myself, things usually just go right. It just flows.
Right.
I've been working the past fucking 5-6 days. 2-3 sessions in my house. Had you in my house. You come back to my house. Doing a commercial. Shot a video yesterday. I haven't batted a wink. Went to bed 5 a.m. Woke up at 8. And it's because I'm not... It's not that I'm not conscious of what I'm doing, but I'm just letting I'm just letting the car go. Just like, fuck it, let's go. I didn't expect you to come today. Yeah, I thought I was driving to Brooklyn. Look, I'm just letting the car go. You know what I'm saying? Like, trusting myself has gotten me closer to spirituality for myself.
Absolutely.
Trusting myself, because if not, I'm so overbearing and hard on me. Like, I'm very hard on me. I'm like, fuck, I'm second place. Oh, fuck, it's $200. Fuck, I got $199. Fuck.
Right.
I'm very hard on myself. So me beating myself up doesn't really work with It's like
No, definitely. And it sends the wrong frequency, I think, to the universe and messes with your manifestation. And like once you really start to understand how to kind of redirect your thoughts, you know, and that you're not beating yourself up. Because you're just like sending messages, sending DMs right to the universe. Hey, fuck me over, bro. Because I'm stupid. Or whatever, it's in the intention too, you know? Because if someone was yelling at you in a language you didn't understand, like what, you don't care, like you might laugh at them, you know, but it's like the intention of really understanding it. Where does that come from when you're like, I'm stupid? Like, what are you? It's just the frequency you're sending out about yourself. The universe is like, well, okay, you told me to. You're right, you know. And so all of a sudden, yeah, there's a pothole. Now you got a flat tire, you know.
So a Muslim told me. He said, because I told him sometimes I feel like I got bad luck. I'm like, damn, just fucking one thing after the other. You know, I was going through a bad streak, $4,000 in the car, didn't have a car, hard to get to work. I was going through a bad streak for like fucking good 4 weeks, and then my cell phone breaks. I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning. It was between like the fucking wall and the battery overheated the screen, and my fucking phone blew up. I'm like, yo, I can't fucking get a break. So I'm speaking to the cell phone guy store, and he's a Muslim dude, and he's like, his name's Irwin, and he's like, I'm like, yo, but what do you think about bad luck? Because he's always giving me this spirituality and all this, the religion, and I listen to him because I respect him, and I respect other sides, especially when I'm going through it. Hell yeah, tell me something else. Tell me something that's gonna just get this shit off of me. Just give me something to provoke my mind in a better light.
Yeah.
And he gives me. You see what all that you feel? Bad luck, good luck. You even wanting to eat. You know, you wanting to be there for your family. You wanting to pay a bill. You wanting to buy this. He's like, you know, that's not really what your soul wants. You know, your soul lives forever. Your body dies. So all those things that you want, that you think you want, that's just your body wanting it.
Right.
It's just your ego. It's your for bad, for good. It doesn't matter. Even if you're trying to do something genuine, if you can't get to it, you have to learn that there's a balance and there's a reason why you can't get.
You have to let go too, right? Like your happiness is not so dependent on the way everything goes out here. You know, because there is, you know, such a sense of randomness. You know, even if you are like kumbaya, shit's gonna fuck you over because that's just the way it goes. You know, an asteroid is gonna destroy the sun someday or whatever. You know,
said something about pi and the circle. You know, I guess it's the same way of the balance because it's a circle. It's gonna keep going around and around and around, and sometimes you're gonna have your highs.
Exactly.
You're gonna have your lows.
The Wheel of Fortune, really.
You know, like,
and that goes back to tarot cards.
And then, but it goes back to pi because it's never ending.
Yes, it never ends that cycle. And
you do
so
tarot
sometimes,
cards too?
Well, right. Sometimes you're at the top, but then it's always gonna be your turn at the bottom. You know, so you really have to get through, and that there's some sort of lesson too. Like you need to be redirected on a certain path. If everything in your life is going wrong, you need to change.
I get pockets of bad luck.
Not just you. I'm not even saying you personally, but you know, sometimes it's
people
just
are
a
doing
mindset
bad things
too.
to themselves, though.
No, but really, sometimes, right? Like you're not thinking right about yourself, or like you're engaging in relationships that aren't good for you. You know, because especially the company you keep really determines. You know, that's all part of your manifestation. You know, the things you listen to, the things you look at. Is it all like you're just an instrument for the universe that's like vibrating out what should happen to me, really? It's crazy how interconnected every thought is a prayer. You know, it's not like, oh, I'm praying right now. No, you're praying all the time.
Yeah, that's why sometimes I think thoughts can, you know, sometimes I don't know where thoughts come from. Yeah. I don't know if they're our own.
Yeah, like, some aren't.
I don't think sometimes my thoughts are my own, like something like in general, like something like what the fuck are you thinking? Like sometimes I feel like, see that frequency thing?
Yeah.
People vibrating at certain levels is why they get further and move past in life and can be anonymous while they do it, because people can't even, sometimes you can't even get on their level. Like Elon Musk can't imagine what it is to be in a room with a Kanye, but they can imagine what it is to be in a room with one another because they vibrate at that frequency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, and they have been in rooms together, right? And that's the company you keep too, right? You know, like if you're vibrating up here, you know, and that's people trying to save other people. It's like, bro, like, especially like if you're probably listening to this right now, like, you just need to focus on saving yourself, right? You're not Elon Musk right now. Like, you need to just like, because once you start saving yourself, you can save other people by just like them believing in themselves. They're like, holy shit, that person believes in themselves. People are either gonna like hate it or love it. They're either like, wow, why should you believe in yourself? I don't believe in me. Or,
well, that's such a sick thing to say about yourself too, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. What are, haters?
See, I try not to let anybody put me down more than I put me down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I could be bad all by myself. I don't need no company.
Yeah.
Lead me to my own destruction, pretty much.
Yeah,
I can
seriously.
control my own chaos. Like, if anybody else comes, like, from the left or right, it's just going to cause a domino effect where we're all going to be chaotic and all the buildings are going to fall. It's going to be like that video game Rampage where there's just monsters punching buildings and they're all falling down.
I was watching Pacific Rim the other day. Is it a guy thing?
What?
I love robots and fucking big. I love big toys, yo. I wish I could be in like one of those big robot suits and just
like fucking Gundam and shit and just start blasting.
Right, that's where it comes from. Right. Yeah.
Flying fucking space. Go.
I saw Fifth Element and I was
oh,
I want to get in a cab. I want to get in a cab that flies with him driving. That'd be so dope.
I want a Jetson style car, just fly and fucking go my destinations and shit. But
Bruce Willis stopped acting, right?
Yeah, because
he stopped.
He got all Alzheimer's. No,
dementia.
Some form. It was dementia or some shit. But yeah, he had to quit acting because of it.
Diagnosed with I can't even say that word. Cognitive Asia. How you say that?
Aphasia.
There you go. I'm just stunad. Fucking stunad. That's why you're here. Somebody got to do it for us.
But yeah, I mean, God bless him and his family. I mean, he already. He had a very long career with the whole
legend.
Total legend.
You know, I keep seeing in movies too. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage starring in Nicolas Cage or some shit.
Stop.
You know his new movie coming out?
Yeah. There's a movie coming out like somebody.
Nick Cage. Wait, you say
it's something. I forgot. Nick Cage is something like Incredible or something. Brilliant.
Nick Cage starring as Nicolas Cage in a movie about Nicolas Cage. Or some
Directed
shit.
by Nicolas Cage.
Directed by Nicolas Cage.
No,
like everything.
It's like a fucking Catch-22 within a Catch-22.
Yo, he's
or it's called like the Genius Artist or some shit like that. Like
the
that.
unbearable weight of massive talent.
Yeah.
The unbearable weight of massive talent. Yo, that is so egotistical. I love it.
Done.
Yo, the unbearable weight of being so talented. Yo, but you can't take it from him. Every time I look at Hulu or a fucking thing, there's 6 movies.
Yep.
I'm like, where the fuck did these 6 movies come from? You know, but the actors act. Wesley Snipes said something when he got out of jail. They asked this nigga, and he's a god for me because that nigga said, fuck you, I ain't paying my taxes. I'll go chill in jail. I still got money. I don't really need it. I don't really care. What kind of man says, I'll go to jail? Fuck it.
He's like, take my time. I want my money.
Fuck it.
Yep.
Fuck it.
I'm Wesley Snipes. Everybody knows me in there.
He came out of jail and they asked him, what advice would you give to a new actor coming out? He said, if you're not gonna, act like you need to act. Act like this is your life.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna act like that, somebody else is gonna come act like that. You have to act like this is your life. Like when you act, you have to, and that's why you see these actors sometimes, they get into these fucking pockets. They get into these pockets where they pushed out 6 movies in 4 years. Like, the Fast and the Furious, say what you want. Some of them are trash. I like them all. Again, I'm a guy. I don't give a fuck. I like them all. And those actors all got in a pocket. For Paul Walker to die and them still continue, I know they're all getting paid, but that shit hurts. You know, for somebody you have to get in a pocket as an actor. No, I'm coming to do my job. You know,
Right.
I'm coming to get paid right now. You think you would ever miss a gig, Yo-Yos? You think would you ever miss a gig for would you choose between your girlfriend, your family, or a gig if that gig was the gig that was gonna change your life?
Be the gig.
You're going to the gig?
Yeah.
Well, okay, but that's
didn't even
different than like a
hesitate.
regular gig. You know
You
what I
didn't
mean?
even hesitate.
There's
But of
difference
course
going
you
to
choose
open
the
mic
gig, and
performing
that's-
at a fucking television show.
Right, but
There's
if
a very
it's
huge compare contrast there.
I don't know, B, because I guess if you say so.
Look,
Like, it depends. I don't know.
if it's something that's going to be life changing, it's going to benefit not only myself but the people around me, where I can be a better provider and get better notoriety. Absolutely.
Yeah, but what if it's the last time to see somebody you love,
Right.
or go to the gig?
But what's the scenario for that?
I don't want to get deep because I don't like jinx and shit. Just say it's the last time you're gonna see somebody you love, or the gig.
Perform in their honor.
He's a dick. He's looking at me.
I don't know, because it's
true professional.
it's like one of those things where
True professional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
it's one of those things where it's like you don't know the situation until you're actually in it.
I agree.
It's like I don't exactly know what I would do.
I agree.
until
Okay,
I was
what
in
if it was like, your baby was about to be born or something? Like you would miss the
good.
birth
See?
of your
Yeah,
baby.
she ordered it better. Your
You
first
know?
son's about to be born, nigga.
Your first son.
Or that gig. Or that gig.
If that gig's gonna give me a multi-million-dollar brand dealership with Nike, like $1 billion in 20 years, just wearing these sneakers.
Alright, but hold up. You got the click remote now. And because you didn't show up at your kid's fucking thing, right?
Right, you got an elf with you.
Elf brought you to the future and showed you, yo, listen, since you weren't at the fucking, you weren't at the look how your son's gonna turn out.
Right.
Turned out to a mass murderer, son of
Right.
Sam. Because you didn't show up to the fuck.
See, again, this is all what if.
Yo, I
all
love
right?
this. That's
First of
even
all,
better.
my son's a
You put the
master.
cherry on it.
First of all, if I ever hear anything about my kid
Now we're
killing
here.
somebody, I'm gonna
Now
kill
we're
my
here.
kid before my kid kills other people.
Damn, you could do that as a
Wow, I was
brought you
gonna
into this world, and I'll
say.
take you out.
parent? Yeah, you could do that. I couldn't do that as a
Okay,
parent.
fair
yo.
enough.
I couldn't do it.
Kill one, save
I
1,000.
couldn't do it.
To be honest, but I made
You ain't-
that. I made that one. I made
And you
that
just
one.
gonna rock
I
with
didn't
it?
make
You
the.
gonna rock with it?
I ain't make the 1,000.
You gotta be in the courtroom fighting for your son, even though he killed 30
listen,
people.
I'm not saying I'm gonna help my kid kill. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I didn't see the clothes he was wearing.
first
I didn't
taste of-
notice the blood on the
That
t-shirt.
first taste
I
of
got
blood,
it,
it's
baby. I didn't
Oh, wait,
notice
I think
the
I got
blood.
it, I got it.
that first
I
taste
didn't
of
notice the blood.
that
on
first
the
taste
t-shirt.
after that first taste of killing, it's like I want to kill more. When you be like, Dad, I love killing. I killed somebody. There's a couple of heads buried in the backyard.
I don't know. I don't think I can snitch my kid out. I don't think I can snitch my kid out, dude. I don't think I can snitch my kid out. Even my kid was he would have to be raping women and doing something real fucking. But if my kid's running around catching bodies and shit, just because he's like,
So death is worse than rape.
I don't- well,
So rape is worse than
I
death.
just
is what you're
I
saying.
just go away with him somewhere. I'll take him
I guess
somewhere.
it's a different game. I don't know.
No, rape. I think rape. Little yo. There's certain guidelines I don't touch. Like little kids, forcing yourself on people.
domestic violence.
Not that I'm for it, but it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Some people just can't help themselves.
Everything we say it happens somewhere.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, but
we say-
it's different than these other things. Like I agree that there's different levels of
absolutely.
evil, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
There's
And now
like-
my kid is running around fucking Son of Sam, that nigga was just literally killing people for no reason. That's why it was hard to find him. He was literally, because it was the same gun. They were matching bullets over here and over here and over here. But it was hard to find him because none of these people had connections. He's walking up to people and just fucking shooting them. Fucking shooting them.
He wasn't
And then nigga said my dog made me do it. Listen, my kid comes up to me like that. I ain't mad at him. The dog made him do it.
What about Gacy?
I'm getting mad at the dog.
Right.
what
Someone
about-
turn that dog in.
They can't pull a Gacy and be like a model citizen community.
See, but Gacy, you knew Gacy was wrong when the nigga said when he was hiring kids to do this to. He said when you say things like he didn't know the difference between, he didn't understand the difference between a heterosexual male who likes women, a gay guy who likes guys. That's cool. You like guys, it's normal.
And
Or a bisexual. He said bisexual people are evil because they don't know what the fuck they want. They're not good people. Those are the ones you can't. Those are the ones. This nigga had a whole wife, fucking little kid, so he was the evil one.
Right, and that's projection.
And then
right.
he got 28 bodies under his house. They have to dig under the fucking house to find these bodies. And they couldn't even identify like 9 of them.
They found them later. Yeah, right.
There's a total of 33, and they couldn't identify like 9. There's still like I think 4 left. Wow. And mind you, he died. He died by lethal injection in 1994, and they're still trying to figure out the other bodies. It's 2022.
Wow,
that's fucking insane. He used to own 35 Kennedy. He used to be a general manager of Kentucky Fried Chicken. 3 of them at the same time, and trying to be a model citizen. Like, oh, I'm gonna help help the children, be a community. He was a fucking clown. He was Pogo the clown. He said, I love entertaining children.
I don't like clowns.
I don't like clowns.
You don't like clowns neither, Alf?
Bad energy.
Bad energy altogether, even good ones.
Like maybe I've met some clowns. I've met some clowns that are fine. But I'm talking about that standard clown. That
even Ronald? What about Ronald?
I don't know. What is he giving everyone diabetes?
Look, he
That's
burgers.
not.
That's not. Nah, she got
They're
a valid point.
exploiting the clown. They're exploiting the clown. You know.
This is a clown that just wants
there are, you know, but that standard clown is a bit scary. Like, you know, there's definitely there's clowns for sure all over the negative parts of the subconscious. You know, absolutely. So I get reminded of that in bad frequency. So I don't really like to stay around clowns. No.
Yeah, I'm not too.
But don't get me wrong. I've met some humans who are like, I'm a clown, and you know they do it cute. There's plenty of cute girl clowns I see around.
Sometimes haunted houses freak me out. Like sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they be a little bit too. Like the person be a little bit too in character for me, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like I have to ask them because I'm like, yo, stop, fucking breathing like yo, dude's.
Yeah, they're like channeling.
You're on my neck, and I'm like, yo, dude, all right, I get it. I get the joke. Stop. And he's not, he's going harder. Oh, you get this fucking nigga away from me, yo. I'm fucking hit this dude. And he's. and then as I walk away, you hear him. I'm like, yo, this nigga's playing with me right now.
Pull the burner on him.
Yo. But he's in character. What am I going to do? But some people, I feel like they get taken over, though. I feel like you can legitimately get taken over. Like, I never fucked with any the Ouija board and none of that shit because why? My cousin used to be like, come on, let's play Ouija board. Let's play. Why? Why would you want? Even if you're fucking with me and you're moving the fucking, why? What are we gonna do? Spell out words? We can spell out words by playing Scrabble.
Why would he a force to make us spell words?
With the lights off and a candle lit? Fuck, we gotta do this right now.
Oh my god. I'm not moving.
Yo.
It says Graham.
You know that shit, they say a lot of that shit happens in Spanish houses, right? Like my man, he said his grandfather died, and in Spanish houses sometimes they leave the casket and the body in the house for a couple days. In Spanish houses in other countries, they leave the body for a couple days. Yep. He said straight up, went to the fucking living room with that nigga was lifted up. I was like, get the fuck. He was like, yo, bro, I swear to God, I'll never forget the most traumatizing thing I've ever saw in my life. My grandfather dead. His head was lifted up like this out the cat. I said, maybe somebody put something under his neck. He said, nobody put nothing on his fucking neck. He was looking down. I was like, and it's always a Spanish house or some fucking freaky shit like that. You see the people that put the dude that died in Brooklyn. They put him.
Oh yeah.
They had a family member that died, so they threw an event in a spot, and they brought the embalmed body to the spot.
With a crown on his head, wearing a Miri fashion clothing. In the club, just chilling on the stage.
Oh my god!
Everybody's dancing, looking around what the fuck?
I don't even know there's a dead guy, right?
Was
that a TikTok, please?
It's weird to us, but in other cultures, that's kind of what they do. And internationally, they'll have a body propped up somewhere, and they'll dance around celebration of going into another realm, another life.
Yeah, there are these rituals about, especially in other cultures, death is not absolute, this is the end, especially where I come from, it's more of a return to home.
Okay.
And I think it is for all humans as well. It's all, for all, even a leaf, even a centipede, so there are different rituals and to help guiding, one's spirit back the way they're supposed to go. Now, I don't know exactly, taking the dead body to the club.
That's just ratchetness. I'm sorry. And then that's your son. That's what you do for your son, and then your excuse is, "Oh, you were wanted it this way."
It just seems like, yeah, but I don't know if mental illness is like too broad of a term for just anything weird. But you're like, my son has died.
Being a fucking ratchet, and she showed no shame. They interviewed her, and they were like, "Oh, this is what my son wanted." I don't know.
No, why she gonna have the nigga's dead already? What shame you gonna have? What you gonna be shameful of already? Nobody. What?
Like, it's my son. He came out of me.
Yo, if anything, she just did that nigga. God bless the dead. If anything, she just brought notoriety to his death. Right. Because now people looked into it and said, "Why the fuck did he die? What happened?" And,
right.
His name was
That's
Gunu.
a good point.
His name was what?
Gunu. From Maryland.
God bless the dead. Yo, what bad?
God bless Gunu.
I'm going to hell.
God bless Gunu.
God bless.
Gunu.
If I'm going to hell, my nigga, you in the chariot with me.
R.I.P. Gunu. He
makes it worse. He's got a song.
He's doubling down.
Gunu.
So what you gonna do? Elf?
What do I have coming up? Today I'm actually going to be writing poems at Washington Square Park.
Awesome.
For people.
Residency.
Got an event. Huh?
No, I'm at your residency at Washington Square Park.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I go there. Yeah. You can find me there, especially in the summer. I've been waiting for it to get warm.
We're around the bends of warmth, so thank God, finally.
Right.
Nice day
I know
today.
Today's the first nice day.
Yep. So we'll see probably next.
Yeah, I'm going to go out there. You get some sunshine.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, I definitely.
And
I have
engage with all those people out there. Do you feel like every person you engage with, you'll leave a little bit of yourself with them?
Yeah, sometimes.
Is that
sometimes it feels that way. I try to just, really connect with people, like really look them in the eyes. I don't know, and have a conversation. So the way the poems work is that, I have a little conversation with you, and then I write a poem on the spot about you or for you, whatever it is, and then give it to them. And some people, get really moved, get really connected, throw me a little tip or something. Elf's got to eat out in this world. Yep. But it's really beautiful, yeah. And people will remember me, like, even I was just in the Bronx the other day, actually, for my friend's birthday, and I couldn't get into the building, and because I didn't have my ID type situation, but then people walking in, they were like, "Oh my God, it's Elf! You wrote me a poem 2 years ago!" And then got in, and so anyway, long story short, it's just people remember people,
That's great.
a connection. Years go by.
You made an impression on them that stayed with them because they even remember exactly what you did. It's not like I remember you from somewhere. No, it's like you wrote a poem for me
right.
long ago.
And that's the most beautiful part about it, and that's what I really just try to focus on, and why I do what I do. So,
of course.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You've been an amazing guest today, Elf.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, are you gonna do any yo-yo tricks at all? You go out with one?
Yo-yo for her.
Yeah, come on.
Do you have your yo-yo on you?
Stop monkeying.
You show me your case of
monkey. I told you about that.
Yo-yo for her.
Perform on the spot.
I don't yo-yo. I don't have no tricks. I'm literally good at nothing, bro. Like,
look at him over there. He's got all the cords. He's like, I got 2 laptops. I'm trying to get this going.
I'll look at a camera like, how the fuck?
Well, then I'm your monkey then, bitch. Because look, I'm doing this.
I don't make you, dude. I'm like,
well,
set my camera up.
I'm not making you yo-yo. All right, would it be better? Yo, can you please yo-yo for her?
I'm doing it right now.
Don't look me in the eyes when you yo-yo. Don't fucking look me in the eyes when you fucking yo-yo. Yo, bro, you're fucking disrespectful. Fucking disrespectful.
Thank you all for watching.
I'm gonna come kiss you and you fucking gonna stop looking me in my eyes, bitch. Let's see if you look in my eyes when you kiss. Bye, Elf. You've been beautiful.
Thank you. I'm just gonna try to learn a yo-yo trick here.
Subscribe to this channel and thank you all for watching.
Oh yes, find me Elf of NYC. Yeah. Yeah. Elf of NYC.
I got it all on the page.
You find me. You find me around Manhattan. Find me on all the shit.
Find her everywhere.
Find her everywhere. It should be in the city. And when you do find her, Make sure you take advantage of having a spiritual connection with a beautiful person. Feel me? Everybody have a good Sunday. We out of here. Me and Yo-Yo's gonna be in the commercial.
Yes. Woo!
Yeah.